Good morning. Good morning from Bandra bandstand. I'm continuing with my walk. I stopped for almost 3 months of the lockdown. I get tired very fast, very easily because of my diabetes. But I prefer walking at bandstand than at Carter Road or Bandra Reclamation Promenade. This is more convenient. I take a rickshaw, I come here. I come from Bandra, Bazaar Road. It's pretty hot today. Very few people walking. I just wanted to tell you all, I've disabled my YouTube comment box. There's too many paid comments. Not interested. I shoot all religion. I'm a believer of interfaith. I believe we all have to coexist. I have no issue with anybody's religion. And I don't impose my views on any one of you. I shoot Sufism, the Kalandris, the Rafais, the Banwas, the Qadri Rafai, the Chishtiyas, the Madariya. I'm part of the Madariya. I'm a Khalifa of Zinda Shah Madar's Madariya Silsila. I was ordained by Sayyid Masum Ali Baba Ashkan Madari. He's a living legend, a living saint from Panihar, Gwalior. And my Murshad is Sayyid Rafiq Ali Baba Masumi Ashkan Madari. I'm in touch with Sayyid Rafiq Baba. Then I have connections with Chishtiya, Silsila. I've been documenting Hujra number 6 of Pir Sahib, Fakhru Mian, his sons, Gaddi Nashin, Farid Mian. So this is my story. I've documented the Qadri Rafai Silsila, almost 200 videos. I shot thanks to Nasir Bhai Norain from Dongri. He is connected to Hisamuddin Baba's Dargah. Hisamuddin Baba Rafai is the citadel of the Dongri Rafai Silsila, next to Haji Abdul Rahman Shah Baba Dargah. I go there also. Last 3 months I have not gone anywhere. Because of my heart attack, I could not go to Makdum Shah Baba's. First time I have not shot the Urus there in December. Neither did I shoot Fakhruddin Shah Baba. I don't go to Ismail Shah Baba, the only reason being that some of the people at the Dhuni are ruffians and very abusive. So I stopped going to. I have learned one thing. If you're not welcome somewhere, it's better not to go. I have nothing. I am a Shia Muslim. I'm happy with my spirituality, whatever. I mean, when people call me a kafir, I think I'm happy. Because as a kafir, through Hussain, I discovered humanity. I am a follower of Ali. So I shoot Kalandris also. And my Kalandri guru is Haji Masum Ali Baba of Busha Kalandar. And his son Gaddi Nashin Mehtab. I've shot the Sabris, the Warsis, the Nizamis. There is another group that nobody has ever thought of. It's a very small cult. And these are snake charmers. But they call themselves Sufis. And they always carry a snake or they have some emblem of the snake. And I call them snake cult Sufis. I met one of them at Haji Malak. And he said he saw my hand. My hand is curved like a snake. So he took up my bag. I was climbing up the mountain with my American friend Glenn Blusack. Then I met a lot of snake cult Sufis at Makhanpur, Urus of Zinda Shah Madar. These guys come there. And they're known as Madaris. But they have their own speciality. They are connected to snakes. This is one group. Then on one side is Sufism that I've shot extensively from for last 25 years. And the other side is the Aghoris that I shot. I began shooting from Khamakya, Assam. From 2016, I used to go to Ambubachi Mela. I was staying in an ashram of a supreme tantric. He's shifted from there. And behind his ashram was a road I used to clean every morning as my Kar Seva in 2016. The road led to the temple of Khamakya. I mean, this goddess had called me out of the blues. I was not intending to come to Khamakya. It is a friend of my French photographer, ace photographer. His name is Laurent Soles. He told me to come and I decided to come there. I bought a train ticket I could not afford. But then it so happened that he could not make it. So he told me to cancel my ticket because I was thinking of living with him. But then I met a tantric in the train and he brought me to this supreme tantric. And I started documenting the Aghoris, the tantrics and the Hijra shamans. The Hijra tantrics are connected to the Aghoris also. And they are also connected to goddess Khamakya. They're connected to goddess Khamakya. And a lot of women, men, they all come and ask them to pray for their health or things like that. Then I think 2018 I met, 2019, I met Mata Bhavani and Gayatri Devi. They are the Mahamandleshwars of the Kinara Khada. And I stayed with them, though it was a pathetic place, as the Aghoris were staying there and there was no water for the toilet, nothing. It was so bad. And I tell you, I feel sorry that the Assamese government has really never cared for Khamakya as such. It is such a beautiful place. I think it's heaven on earth. And I'm a Muslim, mind you. But I see this heavenly aspect of Khamakya and the government doesn't really care. I mean, the way the pilgrims come from Assam, Odisha, me from Mumbai, and imagine living in a place and no water, absolutely no water at all. Is to take Bisleri bottle for the morning cause, for the natural. What else to do then? People used to buy bottles of Bisleri. And the gentleman whose house it was, he's an Assamese, he couldn't do anything. There were so many people he had given it as, he was the landlord, But it was one of the most pathetic places. And I got diabetes, so you can imagine my plight. I have a friend over there called Niku Sarma. I could have stayed with him, but I was staying in a hotel. There was a Hindu gentleman, Mr. Ashok Savlani. I had met him in 2018 and he could not believe that I was a Muslim. So I don't know what happened. He just told me that in future Khamakya, if you ever go, I will pay for your ticket, your flight ticket, both ways, and I will pay for your lodging. So I stayed at Blue Moon at Guwahati with him. He's a very kind gentleman. And he said, you're promoting my religion, you're so passionate about my religion, and this is the least I can do. And I'm really grateful to him because that time my business was down, I was pretty broke, and I stayed with him. Though I always stay with Niku Sarma. But then I have another friend who, my guru, Surinder Pawar, has stayed with him, Hemant Sarma, who's a very good friend of mine. We just talked yesterday because the Ambubachi Mela has started yesterday on the 21st, and sadly I am not able to go. And the temple is closed as such. But then I've been posting pictures on Instagram, on Twitter, about my connection with Goddess Khamakya. There are two places as a photographer, mind you, as a photographer that I'm really close to my heart. One is Makhanpur for the Madariya, the Sufism, and one is Khamakya for Tantric Vidya. I wanted to go to Tripura, Sundari, but I couldn't make it. I didn't have the money, and that was it. My last trip on Khamakya, thanks to Mr. Savlani, I saw Shillong. It was a beautiful place, and Meghalaya. I mean, it's a castle in the clouds. It's an amazing, amazing, amazing place. It's the Scotland of the East. I was there only for a few hours, but I enjoyed it. So now I'm stuck in Mumbai. The promenade is absolutely quiet. And because I've disabled my comments, I cannot talk to you all. So I try to talk through this, through my video. I'm not into live videos. I am on the internet since 2004. I'm on Flickr. But before all that, I was on BuzzNet. And then my site got hacked and somebody went and put all pornography stuff in my Shia albums. They put a fatwa on me in Lucknow. So I somehow, thanks to a friend called Tom Andrews, I was able to disable my BuzzNet account. Then again, as a photographer number 1, I was there. Then I became commentator number 1, and then finally I gave it up. And from there I came to Flickr. I was already there on Blogspot. I still have a Blogspot. It's one of the most regressive sites, and Google, with all its YouTube and everything, has not been able to bring it up to the level of Twitter or to the level of Facebook or to the level of Instagram. It's disheartening. And that's Google Plus. It was at Google Plus, where I met Rodney Pike, great American caricaturist. And that's about it. And then I've been on, and now Flickr has come under Smug Mug, and they're a little strict on their censorship things. So what I have done is all my Muharram pictures, all my Naga Sadhu, the ones that are not nude also, I have just restricted them from public view. My Hijra album, there's about 20,000 images, I have disabled it from public view completely. I'm not interested at all. But of late, it was a friend of my American photographer, Craig Bowman, who told me about Instagram. I was there on Instagram with 3 or 4 pictures, and now I am back on Instagram posting stuff, and I enjoy it. I think Instagram is making me noticeable. People are seeing my work. I'm not posting everything, but I'm posting whatever. And what I'm doing is I'm downloading my albums in Flickr are about 60,000 per album. 60,000 images, 50,000, 30,000. But the ones that are smaller, I'm downloading them because Flickr allows you to download an album of 500 images. So I download a 500 image album and then repost it or re-upload it as a slideshow on YouTube. Check it out. And these are the few places. Facebook I don't much like, but I have some great friends, so I'm stuck on Facebook. But if I could, I would deactivate. I am the only guy I think who has been deactivating Facebook for many years now. But it's the first time that I'm stuck on Facebook. I have not left it because I have a page also that is connected to Facebook. My Instagram is also connected to Facebook. So this is about it. And YouTube is where all my stories you can see. God gave me a talent or whatever you call it, gave me a third vision. So whether it is a DSLR camera or a mobile phone, I can shoot stories. I'm not a street photographer. It's a very cliche word, I'm a storyteller, I am a poet. I'm a Sufi poet. And I'm sad to say that last 2 years I've not been able to take part in Muharram activities because I don't shoot Muharram in Mumbai. I go to Hyderabad, Lucknow or whatever, but I could not make it. Things are really bad this side. And in my area there have already been almost 6 deaths of coronavirus. And I have a heart problem, I have a kidney problem, I have diabetes, so my wife tells me to take care. And here on the promenade I bring about 10-15 masks. I distribute it to people that don't have the masks. I'm helping out some other people also, beggars, poor families, whatever in a humble way. I don't need to post all that and show you what I'm doing. God knows about it. So, this is life. Hope you all are safe. Take care. And now, it's ironical that I've missed out on Kamakya. Kamakya is closed, but I'm preparing internally from within and from without. I'm preparing to go to Kumbh Mela 2021. I'll be staying with a Guru Bhai who has a house in Rishikesh. And I'm connected to the Naga Sadhus of Juna Akhada Thiramadi. So this is one festival. I hope even if I'm not well, I'm still going to go. It might be my last Kumbh. But Kumbh is something, I cannot miss it. And I cannot even stay for a longer time. So I go for the Basant Panchami Shahi Snan. I know I have been shooting Avdesh Anandji, Mahamandleshwar Juna Akhada, right from Nasik Kumbh 2015 to 2003, 2015, and I shot the Mahakumbh at Allahabad 2013, then again the Ujjain Kumbh at 2016, and then I shot the Prayagraj Ardh Kumbh in 2019. The Kumbh is, even if you're not a photographer, you should see the Kumbh. It's an amazing thing. And that is what, and I'm the only Muslim promoting Hinduism as a message of universal peace. I have no issue with anyone's religion. Do what you have to do. I stay away from congregational religion. I stay to myself. So I thank you all for supporting me, liking my videos, liking my stories. I'm sorry I even on Instagram, I mute people because when they ask too many questions, I have no answers for them because these are lengthy. These are questions that require a lot of things. You're searching for a guru, you have to find a guru on your own. I cannot be your guru and I cannot help you find your guru. This is what I believe. But there are a lot of people that spam me, They want me to know how to become a devotee of a Gori Guru or a Naga Guru or a Sufi saint. I can't help you at all. And I'm not a scholar. Firstly, I'm not even an Islamic scholar. I don't promote Islam at all. Islam is promoted not by just the religion you are in. Islam is promoted, according to me, by your humanity, by your humility, and by helping the poor. This is Islam. Not segregating people because of the sect or calling a Sunni, Shia a kafir or a Sufi a kafir. I do not believe in that. I am everything. I am a kafir. I am the biggest kafir you will ever see. And I'm happy to be a kafir. Because as a kafir, I have understood the meaning of living. I will live, this is one life I have. After I am gone, I've asked my children to remove all my stuff online. I don't want to leave anything behind. Take care. All the best. From Bandra Bandstand. It's almost now been almost 10 to 12 days that I've been walking here in Bandstand. And the amazing part of this place is that people that come to the Bandstand promenade are not wearing a mask. They don't. I don't know why. I carry a lot of masks with me. I keep distributing it to people, mostly poor people. But a lot of people, because they are walking, jogging, so they don't want to wear the mask, that's fine. But when they are talking, interacting with people also, they don't have a mask. The importance of mask has not yet come to their heads. A lot of poor people can't afford masks. I know a lot of poor people, in Bandra even. At the bazaar, I've been giving masks. I buy wholesale medical masks and I give it to these people. I have designer masks which I coordinate with the clothes I wear. There are a lot of masks I would like to make, but then my wife says, she'll go crazy because I got turbans, I got these Sufi caps, I got rings, and these are the rings. You can see that is Firoza. This is Australian agate, and these are Shiva's third eye. You can see it. Shiva's third eye. I have a lot of turquoise. I've had this fascination for stones right from the beginning. It's all been 30 years now. Most of my stones are from Iran, Najaf, and other places, but mostly Iran. I got amber even, Kirba, that is from the Caspian Sea. I got an Australian quartz that's about 3,200 carats. It's like a topaz. It's quite expensive. A lot of my jewelry got stolen. A lot I had to sell off when bad times came. I had no money. I sold off all my entire, almost 90% of my silver jewelry because I was going through very bad times. So, this is life. This is Tibetan turquoise. This is Tibetan turquoise. They're amazing. Turquoise, I have a lot of turquoise. Most of the turquoise is from Iran. Earlier, many years back, there were these Iranian gentlemen that used to come. They used to carry a lot of gemstones and dry fruits. And they would sell this to the gemstone dealers in Bhendi Bazaar, and I would buy them. Some I met directly and I bought. The greatest loss for me has been a Dure Najaf. Dure Najaf is a beautiful stone. It is connected to Imam Ali. And this was a huge one. I paid about 3,500 for it. And then on December 6th, I think Dr. Ambedkar's Jayanti, I was in the train and somebody pushed and the ring came out. It fell into the tracks. I could not get down because every 4 or 5 minutes the train keeps coming, and it was platform number 1. So I lost that stone. So when I travel by train, I try not to wear any of these stones because there's a big risk in the crowd. But stones are amazing. I have, if any of you are interested, do let me know. I have Aghori beads. These are blessed by the Aghori Kalima of the Aghori Guru. And these are specially designed by me. These are skulls made out of bone, animal bone. And they are amazing. If you are a believer of Aghoris or you're into Aghori Siddha, these beads, I have quite a few of them because I've been designing the Aghori beads ever since I went to Kamakya, Assam. And these beads I got from an Aghori Guru, another Aghori Guru. And then I took them home and I added my creativity to it. So if you are interested in it, do let me know. You can just DM me on Twitter, Instagram. My Facebook profile is private, but the Aghori beads are really, really exotic and very unique and very rare. And if they connect with your inner cosmic being, then a lot of good can happen. I used to wear it, but then I stopped wearing it because it becomes too much of a weight. I got problems in my neck. And each one of them is almost, the heaviest one is about over a kg. And I'll give them to you guys very reasonable because I want to offload most of my stuff. I have a lot of stuff. I'm not into gemstone dealing. I'm not a dealer. I'm not into selling, buying. But I have extra stuff, so I thought of if anybody loves it, if anybody likes Aghori beads, do let me know. And this is it today. It's very hot in Mumbai. It's not rained. And Bandstand is really hot and humid. I don't wear too much jewelry now. It's a problem in the rains. I don't even carry my camera in the rains. And now another thing I'd like to tell you. There is a madman. They call him Mastan. He was at Bandra Bazaar Road. Now he started walking not walking actually. He comes and parks himself at the promenade. I just shot a small video of his. I've been shooting his pictures also. He is absolutely crazy, insane. And he survived the lockdown. He has no home. He lives on the roads. Earlier he never used to allow me to shoot him, but then Now he doesn't know that I'm shooting him, and I shoot him. Because one of my subjects that I'm shooting is insanity. And it is about shooting mad people. And it's not a very easy topic to shoot, because these guys, if they catch you in the act, and if they get aggravated, they can harm you bodily. They can just smash your camera. I have gone through all this. But I take a chance, because insanity is another poem of life. Insanity is something that brings you close to God. This is what I feel. I am also insane in more ways than one. But I have documented mad people, including mad women, a lot of mad women. There are a lot of mad people in Bazaar Road. One of the main Bazaar guys I've been shooting for the last 20 years, he is missing. I have not seen him as yet. There was a mad girl even. I haven't seen her also. And funny part is they don't have money to be rehabilitated. Nobody really cares for people who are mad. I mean, hardly anyone. Now because of the lockdown and the migrant issue and everything, so people have been charitable or generous, whatever. But the people with mental problems, mental health problem, and people with depression and all, who really cares for them? Nobody really cares for them. Not even their own people will care for them. And so I documented mad people. I have documented mad people all over India. I have documented them in Lucknow. I have documented them in Hyderabad. I have documented mad monks. There was a monk, he used to be naked. He was not a monk at that time. He was just a madman, and he used to sleep at Bhindi Bazaar. And then all these rich kids used to come to him, and they used to feed him. And they used to ask him for the matka number, There is a lottery-based thing or whatever. They would feed him and all. And he was stark nude. I have his pictures. And then gradually, whatever they were doing was coming out right through this man. And now he's become a living saint. You will find him mostly nude. He's got a lot of murids. He doesn't talk. And he's the only naked Sufi saint in Mumbai I have seen. And he's at Haji Abdul Rahman Shah Baba's Dargah. I don't know his name even. They call him Mastan. Then there's the Sada Suhagan. I've been shooting this guy for many years at Haji Abdul Rahman Shah Baba Dargah. And he dresses up as a woman. But he is not a cross-dresser. He is not a transgender. This is a spiritual thing. They are known as Musa Suhagan or Sada Suhagan. Their deity is in Gujarat, I believe. I have not been there. I know a lot of Sada Suhagans. I'm the only Muslim or Sufi guy that has documented this Sada Suhagan. And at the same time, I must tell you, I have also documented the Sakis of Rishikesh. These are Sakis, these are men who dress up as women and look like hijras, but they hate hijras. And I have shot them at Khamakya. And they are amazing. They look like hijras, they behave like hijras, but they hate hijras. And they don't want to be known as hijras. And they are from Rishikesh or Mathura, whatever, those places. I have never been. The only place I visited recently was Kashi. My Aghori Guru had called me. I shot the Holi of the Dead. You play Holi with the living people, they play with the dead. And I tell you, in my life, if there was one place that used to keep me alive, keep me awake rather, excuse my words, was Manikarnika Ghats. I would sit there for hours. And there was this Aghori. He used to wear a skull of a monkey, and he says there was a lot of power and all, and he used to drink a lot even, because it's all part of their lifestyle. And every minute, every second there used to be a body coming at Manikarnika Ghats, and I enjoyed shooting it because the place where I stayed was Kashi guest house opposite Manikarnika Ghats, and among all the ghats at Kashi, Manikarnika Ghat really, it was attached to my soul. There were other ghats too, but Manikarnika ghats. And I tell you, you must visit Kashi once in your lifetime. So this is about just a short talk to you guys, to keep in touch with you all. I don't have anyone to shoot my videos. I shoot myself. I have not gone to the ear cleaners. It's been almost 4 months now, 3.5 months. I don't know what's happened to them, whether they are there or whether they have gone back. And these are the guys that made me famous, and I made them famous. Kasam, Nabi, Raju. These are guys that I used to model for their videos. I used to, because nobody could shoot, nobody wanted to shoot them. I would shoot them, and they charge 20 rupees. They do the ear cleaning, but now I don't know what's going to happen because social distancing, and they're almost in the same boat as the barbers. Even the barber shops are closed in Bandra. So let's see what happens. And Bengal has extended the lockdown for another 1 month. So I don't know what is going to happen in Mumbai. My business is totally wiped out because I'm connected to the film industry and there's no work at all. So I used up all my savings. So I thought, I have a lot of jewelry that I want to sell, especially the Agori beads. This is the first start. I want to sell them off. So any of you, just DM me on Instagram. Thank you. All the best. Take care. Stay safe. And pray to God that this virus goes away from our lives. It has even touched the unborn child. A virus that hates humanity, hates God, hates religion. But honestly, I feel the politicians love this virus because it has silenced all their detractors, their opposition. The mother. Good evening to all the beautiful people of Manipur, to the family of Gambhir Singh, his friends, his relatives, whom I can't directly contact. I'm really saddened by his untimely passing away. He was a fantastic human being. I will come to that later. But I also want to thank Officer Amitabh Singh, Officer Priyobartan Singh. I want to thank Mr. Nonglen, Mr. Samrendra Onam. There were these few people, and Romel. These are people that connected with me when I discovered Gambhir Singh. And I must tell you, you must understand that I have never ever spoken about Gambhir Singh as I will speak now. I'm talking from my tennis court. Gambhir Singh, I met him accidentally. I don't know him at all. I was at a predominant Muslim area and there were these young kids, they were abusing him. They were calling him Nepali and he was really getting pissed off. And he kept on saying, my Manipuri hai, my Manipuri hai. But the problem is, please forgive me, you northeastern people, because I'm very close to northeast India. For me, it is a heartbeat of India. I'll tell you one thing. Nobody, mainstream, I'm talking about Mumbai, the people who live in slums and all don't know where Manipur is. They don't even know where Nepal is. But Nepal is famous for many other reasons. Anyway, I went to those boys, I told them, listen, don't tease him. He's an elderly man. And that was the end of the chapter. I gave him some money and I told him, he said, Dekho Baba, ye mere ko kar raha hai. I said, bachche, jaane do, maaf kar do. Now I'll tell you another thing. After that, I never met him. But he used to come near my house. There is a country joint, and he was an alcoholic. But I tell you one thing. Whether he was an alcoholic, whether he was a vagrant, whether he was a beggar, he was a Manipuri with a lot of cultural identity. He did not let that identity of his get diluted. Living 40 years in Mumbai on the roads, it's impossible. Believe me, I'm living in Mumbai from the age of 5. My parents too lived in the slums, so I know what it is. And then I would meet him and I would talk to him. And then one day, I love shooting videos. I shot his video. And that video, maybe he was drunk or whatever, or maybe he was nostalgic for Manipur. And he told me that he told me in the video about himself, Kumbang and all those things. Now I'll tell you one very important thing about Gambhir Singh. Gambhir Singh lived in Mumbai. He had a disease which I also have gone through. It's called alcoholism. it happens to the best of us and the worst of us. Alcohol drinking is not a crime. But there comes a time when alcohol starts riding you. Now, what I want to tell you is that if Gambhir Singh wanted, he could have stolen money, he could have done a lot of things to keep up with his drinking, but he never did that. This I know for a fact, because he was a man of principles. He was an army guy. Can you imagine that? He never forgot his rifle number. He was from Manipur Rifles, and he said, I don't know, he said he was there in the army for 17 years. So today I want to tell the people of Manipur, it was you, not me. It was not my video. It was you that got him home safely. But then I will tell you another thing. और ये कहते ना, I'm a heart patient. ये कहते मुझे बड़ी तकलीफ हो रही है कि जो बम्बई में रहता है वो बम्बई छोड़ के जाता है, लेकिन बम्बई उसे कभी नहीं छोड़ती. बम्बई ने गंभीर सिंह को नहीं छोड़ा था. और मैं आपको बताऊंगा, आप बुरा ना मानिएगा, आई एम स्पीकिंग इन हिंदी बट आई विल टॉक इन इंग्लिश ऑल्सो, दैट गंभीर सिंह died the day he was uprooted from Mumbai. Because if he really wanted to go back, there was nothing that could stop him from going to Manipur. I don't know anything about him. I will tell you one very important thing. And this is something, if you're a human being, you will understand. I'm a fashion designer for Bollywood. I've been working with Mr. Danny Denzokpa for the last 40 years. I'm an actor, I'm a poet, I'm not a social activist, I'm not into politics. But I will tell you one thing. When Mr. Priyo Bartan and Amitabh Singh came to my house, after they had found Gambhir Singh, they came to felicitate me. From the people of Manipur, they said. I gave them 1,000 rupees. They said, what are you doing? I said, no, I'm giving this money to you to please give it to Gambhir Singh. I think he's a very poor man. You know what they told me? They said, he's in our custody in a hotel called Siddharth Hotel. Nobody is allowed to meet him, but please you come there with us and give the money to him. Now listen to this. And this is not a scripted thing, I'm talking impromptu. I went to Siddharth Hotel. One thing is that Gambhir Singh never knew my name. I went, I said, and he was wearing a red t-shirt, and he could have never expected that he was going back home, and he was going by flight. When I went in, I said, Gambhir Singh, मुझको पहचाना? He said, Baba, मैं आपको पहचानेगा ना, आप तो मेरे को खाने के लिए पैसा देता था. I mean, you imagine that when I gave him money, I never for once even thought that he will drink. That is none of my business. Because this is the problem with us in India, We are hypocritical to a certain extent. We don't give money to a, we feed crows, we feed dogs, we feed cats. But do we ever feed a leper? Do we ever feed somebody who's hungry? There are people I've seen, in Mumbai, they feed the pigeons, and there are hungry kids over there, but they won't feed anything. Maybe there are some who feed, but this is what I'm talking to you. Maybe because I was an alcoholic 25 years back, I saw a part of me in a Gambhir Singh. And this I've never mentioned, And I'm happy that Vidya, who's on Twitter with me, she was the one who took my video. And I told her that the only way of finding Gambhir Singh is to contact Mumbai police. They are fantastic. Contact Bandra police. And the most important thing, tag, on Twitter I said, tag Ashish Shelar. He's living in my building. And he is the MLA, and Poonam Mahajanji, who is the MP. Because if you go to a police station and say a man is missing for 40 years, the first thing they will ask, what was he doing? So will you tell him that he's a beggar and he's drinking? The police have so many things on their head. So, I tell the people of Manipur, in my life, I tell you, believe me, if this happened in Delhi, Madras, Calcutta, wherever, if this had happened, a man had gone missing for 40 years, honestly, nobody would care a damn. But it is you people of Manipur, without thinking of him as a beggar, without thinking of him as an alcoholic, you brought him back, you gave him respect, you gave him humanity, you showed him that Manipur is not just a part of India, it is a heart of India. And this is what makes me cry, because Gambhir Singh, I learned so many lessons from him. I learned lessons from Manipur people. I don't know them. When 3,500 people added me on Facebook, all Manipuri, I don't know them at all. But then I had to delete them. There was some problem, My site got hacked. So what I'm telling you today, my friend Sahil, my coach's son, is taking this video. I'm taking it from the terrace court. That I'm really upset about Gambhir Singh's passing away. He committed suicide, they said. He hung himself from a tree. near a bridge at Kumbong. I mean, what was his problem? What was his problem? There must have been some problem. Man does not commit suicide just this way. This is not Sushant Ray, you know. This is not him. And I'm not trying to belittle Sushant Ray's thing, but just imagine a man who dies. There is no controversy in Gambhir Singh's life or his death. He lived his life. He never robbed. Again, I tell you this. He never robbed. He never stole. He never said bad words. He used to sing songs. Let me tell you that. He used to sing a song, and if you give him 5 rupees, he will take only 1 rupee. I mean, where will you find such a man like Gambhir Singh? And I am telling you, when Gambhir Singh was found, the Patsoy police station sent me a message that they wanted to bring me to Kumbong. But I don't think I will ever be able to go, because at that time I was doing a film with Mr. Danny, Kabuliwala, so I don't think I could have ever gone. And I will not be able to see, I don't have the finance to come to Manipur. But I tell you one thing, that when Gambhir Singh's story happened, was it the only story? Was it the only story? Because when Gambhir Singh's story happened, BBC called me, CNN called me, all these big, Der Spiegel called me, all these big, news channels called me. I don't want any fame or anything at the expense of Gambhir Singh. But was it a story that was so, it was so huge that people will never forget Gambhir Singh. Gambhir Singh synonymous with Manipur. And so now I won't stretch your imagination any further. Forgive me for anything I may have said in my emotional outburst. But I love Gambhir Singh. He's an amazing man, and I love you all Manipuri people. God bless you all. And I hope that Gambhir Singh's story becomes folklore in your village, in your town, in your city. And people remember him, that a prodigal son came back home, not because of God, not because of the politics, not because of anything, but only because of the love of Manipur people. Jai Hind. Thank you.